What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I personally get new ideas for new Redbubble designs. Now, you guys could do this on every platform. It doesn't necessarily have to be Redbubble, but I would say that this doesn't necessarily apply to Etsy because Etsy has its own methods. This doesn't apply to certain platforms like that, but if you're currently trying to think of getting new designs, because at the end of the day, right, we know we all should be uploading more, but sometimes, let's just face the pure facts, is that we don't upload as much as we should be because we can't think of ideas, and that's perfectly fine. Now, whether it be from ideas from a niche perspective or from a design perspective, we don't think of those things. And God forbid I sit down and I start drawing, then I'm not going to be able to upload a single design. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys, honestly, today, how I personally sometimes come up with new ideas when I'm in a rut, when I'm in a position where I just can't think of a certain idea, or I can't think of a certain concept or a certain design to get. And really what I'm looking for is I want to get into a flow state. And for those who don't know what flow state generally means, is that, do you guys know that feeling? And we've been all through this, and every single one of us has been through this, but you guys know that feeling when you start something and then you get so deep into it, the time just flies by and you're doing it, and next thing you know, that was the quickest half hour, 3 hours, 5 hours that just passed by. I know a lot of people can probably agree with me. I know we get into flow states all the time, but that's really what a flow state is. And that's what we're all looking for, that initial flow state where we just, get into the flow and get things going. And basically, because of momentum, we just can't be stopped. Well, I'll share with you guys what I do. Now, I'm not saying you guys have to do this as well, but I'm just sharing what I personally do, okay? So what I do is I look to an outside marketplace sometimes to get certain ideas, okay? Now, what I do is, what's a bigger marketplace than Redbubble? All of us can answer this question for print on demand like this. What's a bigger marketplace? The answer is Merch by Amazon. We can all agree with that, right? Merch by Amazon, Amazon.com is by far the largest e-commerce website in the world, on the internet, right? But the thing is, if I go on Amazon.com, and let's just go ahead and do this, and I type in things like, let's say shirts, for example, it might cause some, it's going to take me a long time to get some ideas. I don't want to see all this other stuff and get distracted. I want to be focused on the task at hand. Now, I could do this with other companies as well, but really what I'm looking for is that I want designs that are going to catch my attention, but I know that they're actually succeeding and actually making money. Because for me, it's not good to learn from other designs that are not making any income. So what do? I use Merch Informer. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is not like some sort of sponsored video. Of course, I am an affiliate for this software, but this video is I'm just sharing what I personally do, okay? You guys don't have to do this, but like I said, this is what I do. If you get something out of it, then great. So what I look for is two criteria when I'm looking for a design that I want to essentially, I don't want to say model after because I'm not copying anything from these designs. I'm just gaining inspiration. It might be a topic, it might be a single design, it might be the way a certain design is created. It could be anything, really, right? And I'm just trying to get any kind of sparks of inspiration. What I need two validations. I need the first one is that just my general interest. When I look at a design, I want it to catch my eye, right? Like for whatever reason, this design right here is catching my eye. And for whatever reason, this one is catching my eye, okay? I need it to catch my eye. That's the first criteria. The second thing is I need to validate that design by making sure that it actually sells. And Amazon is one of those platforms where they have something called the BSR, the best seller ranking, okay? And that BSR is a statistic, I guess you could say, that tells us how it compares to other designs in terms of the number of sales that it generates and the estimated number of sales it generates. And what companies do is they take this BSR and they can generate a number on how many sales it generates a day on average, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it. There's a software within Merch Informer called the Product Search, okay? And what this product search does is, like I said, it gives me ideas for different, designs out there. And over here, and by the way, I'm just going to go over here to the pricing to just show you guys what you can do with this. The $9.99 software is the cheaper one. I'm telling you that this is good for this tutorial. You don't have to get the more expensive one. The more expensive one is the it's the software with the uploader. Okay, so the uploader. In terms of the graphics pack, is like it's not really a big thing, but more of the uploading interface, which is really a really good added feature. But if you're strapped for money and you don't have that much income, right, and you're trying to just figure things out, you don't need the more expensive package. Do I use the more expensive one? The answer is yes. I actually have this software in my installed applications. I have it here somewhere, the POD Connect and the single upload interface. I have both, okay? But I just figured I'd just share that with you guys and show you that it's not all about money here. It's all about understanding what we could do. And by the way, there is a free trial. So I'll leave the affiliate link in the description box, in the description box and in the comment box down below. Okay, so I'll show you guys what I'll do. So let's just take my niche for the quotes, for example. I have a specific store. It's not the old demo store, but I have a specific store where I have quotes on designs, okay? So what I'll do is I'll type in a general word like this, quotes, and I'll wait for it to populate ideas. And sometimes it will and sometimes it won't, depending on what I actually type up here. But if it doesn't populate any results, then I'll kind of add more tails to my keyword. So before we even begin, I'll explain what tails really mean. We have long tail keywords and we have short tail keywords, okay? Now, SEO is something that is search engine optimization. In this case, the Amazon website does have its own search engine, right? Like if we go to Amazon.com, this search section right here is its own search engine, all right? And that search engine has long tail keywords and short tail keywords, right? So if I type in quotes here, okay, quotes, you have titles that you know are in different phases. Like you have, this is referred to as a short tail compared to this one, right? And it's all subjective. Now, what is short tail? What is long tail? And if you've seen my older videos, you probably know what this is. But short tail just generally means there's less words in the phrase. Okay, so this word right here is short tail. This short tail keyword. These are long tail keywords because they have more words in the phrase. Does that make sense? And so when we talk about something that's short tail or something that's long tail, we're comparing them to each other. So the word quotes is short tail compared to the word quotes t-shirt, right? And what there really are is, even though they have many words here, they're referred to as keyword phrases, okay? This is a keyword phrase, and this is a keyword phrase. Even though one is drastically longer than the other, doesn't matter. They're still both considered phrases. So how we differentiate between the two is we call them either short tail and long tail. Now, something that I want to say that's important about short tail and long tail, and I'll just pull up the whiteboard here. Let's just go ahead and pull up the whiteboard because this is very important to explain, is with the whiteboard, let me go ahead and make sure I got everything going on. I got my pen here. Okay, with short tail, guys, short tail, you have a wide range. You have a wide range, okay? It's very wide. With long tail, even though the keyword is longer, right, you have a smaller range. And what this range is represents the number of results. I want you guys to memorize this. The number of results, okay? So, for example, let's just take this logically. If I go into Google and I type in the word hat, okay, let's go ahead and actually do this. Let's go ahead and go in Google and type in the word hat, okay? Look how many results we're going to get. We have a total of, let's just wait for the number to pop up here. Let's give it a second. We have 10000 plus results. So there's many more results. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But if we search for red hat, okay, red hat, the number of results will decrease, okay? Now, it doesn't actually say the number of results right here, but the point is that the number of results drastically decreases, right? Like if I go into a store and I say, hey, I want to buy a hat, right? Well, there's millions of kinds of hats. But if I say, hey, I want a red baseball hat, now I can tell exactly what it is. So remember, short tail, right? You can use the example of a hat, okay? Gives you a ton of different results. But long tail gives you few results, okay? And what's important to realize is that search traffic differs between short tail and long tail. Typically, short tail keywords or short tail phrases have more search volume and more competition, okay? So more search and more competition. Now, why does this actually matter, search volume and competition? Well, on Redbubble and on Amazon, if you guys are sellers on Amazon as well, is the golden rule for selling and making money on these platforms is that we want to find low competition, high search volume categories. Okay, let me go ahead and refresh this. High search volume, and low competition search category. Low competition and high search volume categories. Okay? And this is logical as to why. Because if there's low competition, then I don't have to worry as having as many competitors. But if there's high search volume, then I know there's more people searching for products. Okay? So hopefully that quick little mini lesson makes sense. Okay? So when I type in the word quotes here, I get a wide array of all different kinds of quotes. And so this is how I gain inspiration. So immediately I saw something that caught my attention here. And here it says good vibes only, and it's in graffiti style. That right there caught my attention. Why? Because this design, I don't do stuff in graffiti as much. Maybe I can do some stuff in graffiti. And here, if you look at this design, right? Look at these elements of this design, guys. Here we have good vibes only, and it's almost like a transition, a gradient of colors. Well, wait a minute. With the skills that I know about in the Blend Designs mini course, if you guys are familiar with the Blends Design mini course, I released that course a while ago. We go over here to products, and we go over to, where is it here? I know it's here somewhere. There it is, the Blends Design mini course. This course, I know how to take a photo and add it as a background to plain text or a plain image, kind of like what you're seeing here. So with what I'm seeing on this screen here, I could do something similar to this. So now this gives me ideas. If I'm creating, let's say, a quote type of design, I can take graffiti ideas and add some sort of image to the background and have this same effect by combining what I previously know and what I now know. Okay? And mind you, it's not stealing if I look at a design that has graffiti on it and I search to learn how to do graffiti myself. I might go into Canva, get some graffiti style fonts, and get something going. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing against that. And what I'm doing is I'm differentiating myself compared to the designs that I used to create, right? A lot of the times we get stuck into a certain style of creating. We can all agree on that. Like, for example, if we look here on this seller, right? This person is called Sourdrop. This person has 164 designs. You look at the style of the designs, pretty much every single design is the same in reference to the style, right? Aside from just this piece of text. But from the actual art, all the style, it's relatively the exact same. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but what I'm saying is when you have the same style on every design, you might not catch people's attention all the time. What if you had a wide array of styles? That means you're serving all kinds of different customers in one single niche. The mistake that people do is that they go to all different kinds of niches in one store, right? That's a mistake because you can't serve everybody. But if you're serving everybody in one single niche, now you've amplified your success and not decreased it. So what I'm saying here is that I've learned now something that took me 2 seconds to do. I simply typed in the word quotes, and now I looked for it. But do you guys remember what the 2 criteria was? I'm quizzing you guys. Do you guys remember what the 2 criteria was to how I actually pick designs that I'm actually inspired by? The first criteria was that I was interested in the way it looks, if it catches my attention. Do you remember what the second criteria was? I'll give you a second. What was the second criteria? Okay, the second's over. The second criteria was that it actually generates sales. If it generates sales, then that means that I know the niche idea or the idea is validated. That means if it's making money elsewhere, then it can make money for me as well. Now, mind you, like I said, I'm not going to copy this design, but I will be inspired and learn from the style. Okay? Nobody likes a copycatter, and that's not what I'm aiming to do here. But the style is interesting to me. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the sales. So if you look here we have 363,000 BSR ranking or bestseller ranking. It's estimated to get about a sale a day. This is actually very, very good because I'm not looking to compete in areas where I get 50 sales a day, 100 sales a day on one piece. Now, don't get me wrong. If I do, that's tremendous. It's great. It's a blessing. But the reality is that's highly unlikely. And those areas where people get 50, 60 sales a day on a single piece of merch is very, very competitive. And the reality is that I won't be seen. I'll be a needle in a haystack. And I've spoken about this in the tagging course. But the worst thing that you could do to yourself and do to your business is compete in an area that is high competition and not enough search volume to be spread throughout everybody, which is kind of the needle in a haystack mentality. If I was to go here and compete for the word tiger, and that would be the only keyword that I want to compete for, that's only one design amongst 224,000 plus designs. It's highly unlikely that I'm going to get a sale ever, right? So what I need to do is I need to make sure there are enough results that can validate the amount of search volume, but there's not too many to where I won't show up. Does that make sense? And like I said, we've spoken about this in the Autopilot Passive Income Redbubble tagging course, which I'll also leave the link in the pinned comment below. Okay, it will be the first comment. If you're on mobile, click on the comments, scroll all the way up. You'll see that there's a pinned comment. It won't show up just if you scroll down. You won't find it that way. You have to actually click on it. But if you're on computer, you'll find it. Pinned comment, right? This is going to be the link to the course as well. So this is what I do, right? There's two criteria. I'll go over this again. If number one, it catches my eye and I have the actual skills to get it done and do it. And number two, if it actually gets sales, right? So it's getting a sale a day. That's actually really good. That's good enough for me because remember, my approach, guys, is I'm creating 60 designs per day. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, but that's something I personally do. And if I'm creating 60 designs per day, if out of every day I can create a design and it's get a sale every single day, it's a huge blessing. Now, will it get a sale every day? The answer is probably not, because Redbubble is a different marketplace and they operate based on different algorithmic contingencies and different ways that, consumer search and things like that. So Redbubble is a different platform entirely, but this validates my idea, validates my approach. Now, if you're on Merch by Amazon, you're actually selling designs on Merch by Amazon, this is even better for you because you can create designs on the Merch by Amazon platform and actually get going with it, right? Now, something that I'll say is just because one is better than the other doesn't mean it will necessarily catch my attention. So if you look here, there's this shirt, okay, that says Friends. We could go ahead and scroll down here and take a look. This does not catch my attention to me. This is a lot. This is a lot going on here. And for my style of designing and for my personal liking, this is not something that I would create, right? Even if it makes money, it doesn't mean it's something that I have to chase after, okay? There are a lot of people, for example, in the stocks game. I don't go after stocks. I don't try to make money on stocks. Why? Because it's just not my interest, right? So I'm looking for things that catch my personal attention, right? So when I'm looking here, this design does not catch my attention, but this design does. So I can look at it, and I actually read it here, and it says logo, so I'm not even going to even attempt to create a design like that because it might mess with copyright, but this catches my attention, right? So I can click on this, and I can take a look at what it's doing. So I can click here and I could read it and I say, that's interesting. Maybe the style of this is pretty interesting. Maybe I can create text within a design to where the actual text is distressed. And for those who actually do know, one of the texts that we included in the POD design course, one of the free fonts, was a style that had distressing in it. So like I said, my previous knowledge, my previous information, and everything that I previously know, combined with exposing myself to new ideas, can collaborate together to creating something entirely new. Something new, fresh, and I add it to the Redbubble platform, which will help me get sales right away, okay? So this is very important. I think, getting inspiration, however you choose to get inspiration, is good for you, and it works for you. And this is just a way that I personally do it. There's many ways that I do it. This is one of the many ways. So I figured I'd share this because I think it is important, and it does help, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.